Hello, Bucks fans. Welcome back to Real Bucks Talk. In today's video, I want to talk about the Buccaneers secondary. There has been some additions, there's been some subtractions in that room, but I feel like the Buccaneers have put together a very good secondary room with potential to grow and maybe be the best they've had in a while. So you look at the overall starting group or projected starters. You have Jamel Dean, you have Jordan Whitehead returning via free agency. Then you have Antoine Winfield and Zion McCollum. They've also added rookie Tyke Smith in the third round of this year's draft. You have Kayvon Merriweather and Christian Izien, Josh Hayes, all returning from last year. Then you also have the addition of Bryce Hall. I don't know why he's this low on the depth chart. He's probably going to be your third corner, potentially your number two corner if he beats out Zion McCollum. And then you also brought in Tavier Thomas, who has veteran experience and also can play the nickel position. So just based off of looking at this, how it's going to line up in my eyes, I see Jamel Dean, McCollum being your outside corners, obviously Whitehead and Winfield being your safeties. The nickelback, I think, is going to lean towards Tyke Smith winning that job. And then you have very good reserves in Kayvon Merriweather at free safety, Christian Izien as the strong safety slash nickel. And then you also have Tavier Thomas as a depth piece, Josh Hayes, etc. Bryce Hall probably be your third corner. So factoring that in, I just look at the versatility and just the flexibility that Todd Bowles can have with this secondary with guys that can play multiple spots. You have Zion McCollum who can play inside or outside. He's shown ability to play at safety as well. And then you look at Izien. Izien can play the nickel. He can play safety. Kayvon Merriweather can play both safety spots. And then Tyke Smith, he can do pretty much similar things. So with that, I'm really excited about what they add and what potential the Buccaneers could have, especially when they're in their nickel defense. They can present a lot of different looks to the opposing offense, and I think that's exciting as a Bucks fan. And when you look at, I'll bring up a diagram here. When you look at this photo here, this is your standard nickel defense where you have the two safeties, back up top, and then you have your linebackers there in the middle, your nickel back, and your two outside corners. But what if the Buccaneers decided to get creative and could do something where you have Tyke Smith playing your nickel back spot, you have Izien as a strong safety, you bring Jordan Whitehead down to one of the linebacker spots to play next to Levante David, and you can have so much more ability to be creative. And I could see Todd Bowles doing something like that. Even like if you wanted to bring in Bryce Hall as your outside corner, move McCollum to nickel to play up against a bigger, tight end or receiver to match up there inside. You could also have McCollum move to the safety spot and bring in different players to fill in those roles. So there's just so much they could do on defense to really mix things up. If you wanted to, you could bring Winfield down here in the box next to Levante. There's just a lot of different things that I'm excited to see how they maximize this secondary room. But it really starts with that addition of Jordan Whitehead. And now you add another guy like Tyke Smith, who plays very similar to both Whitehead and uh, Winfield Jr. I think that just creates so much more in your backfield, and it helps the guys up front too because KJ Britt and Servassier Dennis, if you want to keep them off the field on third down, or maybe it's just for specific third downs where you take them off the field and bring in a better coverage player to help you out when the offense is in 11 personnel or 10 personnel where they're spreading the field out. It just gives you that option if that's something you want to do. Now, Bowles is probably going to want KJ Britt or Servassier Dennis to, expand their range as far as pass coverage goes and being on the field. And also, it just gives you that extra, um, that extra guy in there to help against the run. But also, that's the beauty of it. Whitehead plays so well against the run. He can be that extra linebacker for you. Um, same thing with Merriweather and Isian. They're really good against the run coming downhill. So there just presents a lot of opportunities for the Bucs to really get dynamic with not just third down, but their early down situations and coverage. And maybe this is what they need to help them against teams like the Detroit Lions, the Rams, the Philadelphia Eagles, and just different teams that they're going to face this year. San Francisco 49ers, to give them a little bit extra packages there to create more chaos and really help the guys up front, as you see up here on the screen as well. Just giving the offense different looks. I think that's going to be really exciting. But with that said, let us know what you guys think. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. I think the Buccaneers secondary could be a real improvement this year with the additions that they've made. And it could be a lot of fun to watch and see what Todd Bowles cooks up with this Buccaneers secondary. But with that said, hope you all enjoyed it. And until the next one.